Hey guys, quick message to some of my old viewers. I started a new channel about hydroponics and I've been working on it since late summer. And this is my first setup. I just want to let y'all know in case you wanted to follow that channel as well, because stuff around here is pretty well drying up. I am getting a ton of requests about this and that and the other. That's kind of seasonal, but it looks like what I mentioned earlier about something coming to fruition. Looks like the curse of the draw strikes again. That just totally evaporated apparently. Maybe I'll get into that one day in the future on that channel. Maybe I won't. Anyway, I've been having a ton of fun with hydroponics, and this is some brassicas that I've been growing since, I think I started them in August. And some of this is broccoli and cabbage and cauliflower. Now I've had my first harvest of the broccoli. Here's some pictures of that. It's a variety called mini broccoli. So it's supposed to keep producing florets when you cut it. Probably not the best for this system right here. It's okay, but I much prefer growing this cabbage and cauliflower in here because it doesn't get as tall. And the yield on this mini broccoli just doesn't seem to be, all that it's cracked up to be. But this being my very first attempt at growing anything hydroponically, I am absolutely floored. I've had an issue with aphids for some reason. Growing it in here, I think what happened is when I started these, I started them outside and left them outside for a long time. They got root bound, and it just was not, definitely not ideal conditions for them. If you go back and look at my previous videos about this, it's a miracle that they made it this far. It really is. So I think that the aphids came from that portion of their life. I brought a bunch of eggs in and what have you. So I've been battling that constantly, and I cannot wait to start over again. I did find one thing that gets rid of them, kills them instantly, is rubbing alcohol. And the reason you see them kind of powdery is because I also mixed in diatomaceous earth. And the alcohol, it's got a very low surface tension, and it does not bead up on these brassicas like water did. I don't know if you can see, but since I've been doing this roughness has developed on the broccoli, and I'm not really sure what's going on there. It kind of looks like proud flesh, like you'd see on a horse or something. I think what that is places where the aphids have bit into it, and then the alcohol hit it. It just sucked out a whole bunch of moisture really quick. So yeah, it doesn't really hurt the plant. It just makes it look ugly. But I'll get some close-ups of the cauliflower. I don't know if I'm going to continue growing this mini broccoli or not, because it does have other florets coming on. It's just I'm kind of in a hurry to get some new stuff growing rather, and I'm going to take you out there and show you what I've got planned for that. Okay, we're up above here, and this is one of the cauliflowers. This is my biggest one. It's bigger than a softball. And this is what I believe to be a pre-Cabbage Patch Kid. I'm not really sure. I mislabeled all this. I'm not sure what got mislabeled and what didn't. See, I've got that labeled as a tiara cabbage. I got that labeled as a tiara cabbage. I would imagine that is the tiara cabbage. These two are definitely the broccoli, but here's that I was talking about. And if you know what this is, chime in by all means. But yeah, I've really had the aphids. See, there's some right there. It's been really annoying. I'm growing some Brussels sprouts in a Kratky system over there, but they're not looking great or anything like that. But the cauliflower is doing really, really nicely. And then I got a purple one right in there. So I'll show you what I have planned for this summer and springtime. Okay, we are standing at my back door looking out on the back porch just to give you an idea about the layout that we're going to be working with. So it's basically going to be two systems, two independent pumps at least. Might be feeding out of the same reservoir. Probably going to have two 55-gallon drums. Probably I'll just have them connected. Anyway, what I'm going to use is a Dutch bucket system, and I've designed and printed this filter drain for buckets. This is the same system that I've got in there. I'm going to have probably half of them with the hydrogen clay balls and half with perlite peat mix. So what I'm planning on, the reason that I need two pumps is it'll become apparent in a minute. But I've got enough hydrogen to probably do most of this in here. I'll probably have to get another bag, and that has different draining characteristics than the peat and perlite that I'm going to have over there, or one or the other. So the plan is, I was thinking about having a drain on the outside here, a PVC drain that goes along here and then along there, and have the buckets like on this side, and then have the hose come through here and down into the PVC and drain. But as you can see, there's all sorts of issues with that. The first one being the drain does not want to line up with that. So if I were to do that, I'd have to raise it up, which would involve construction and getting a bunch of wood and all that crap. And then it would also depend on very specific placement of these buckets so as to not run into that issue. So what I figured I'm going to do is just nix the PVC drain and not even worry about proper elevation and slope. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have the drain on the front. That way it'll be easy to get to. I may have the feed line in the back. Probably I'll run the feed line in the back, but the drain will definitely come out here. Probably a 90-degree elbow right there. Haven't exactly figured it out yet, but it's going to come off of here and then to a T. Probably just come straight off that, make it long enough to where it doesn't pull the bucket over. Still need to work. Well, I was just in there editing this video and it cut off right here while I was explaining what I was going to do. Anyway, picking it back up there, what I was saying is that the drain is going to come out here into a T, and it'll connect up with other buckets, and it will go along side here, picking up all those other buckets, and it'll drop down there, and go in that louver under the house where it's nice and cool, and then it'll go across the house. I've got an access door over there, and I'll have two barrels over there that I'm going to have my nutrient in. Each one will have a pump, and yeah, so that will be the drain. And I'm going to have to get my timing right so I don't, overflow everything while it's just draining through that small irrigation line. But that's not really, I don't think that's going to be that big of an issue. And I'm not going to have to worry about, in particular, the slope that I would have to worry about if I was going to use PVC. I'm kind of more relying on surface tension to take care of that, and it'll be okay if a little bit gets stuck in there until the next cycle, I believe. I don't see why not, because nutrient gets left in the bottom of this every time it cycles. So yeah, and I'm probably going to have my feed line behind it. Haven't decided whether I want it. It'll be a little bit neater looking behind it. Not quite as easy to get to, but out of the way. I don't expect there to be much maintenance issues with it, so that'll probably go behind it. And then I'm going to do this section first and work out any kinks before I go on to the slightly more complicated section over here. I picked up this barrel a couple of days ago off of Craigslist, and I didn't even get murdered. What I'm going to use that for is the clay balls. I'm going to cut it down probably right here. So I'll basically have a big pot, and I'm going to use that on the turkey fryer. Put the balls in there with the root balls and see if boiling them doesn't soften the roots enough to get all the clay, to separate the clay balls from the root balls. Well, I guess my camera got tired of listening to me yammer on and on and on, so I'm not really sure where I left you. But anyway, the second line will probably come over here and just be on the surface, and then feed everything over there. So that is the working theory, and by all means chime in if you have a different idea or can see a problem that I'm not picking up on before all this gets done. But yeah, that is the idea. What do you think about that, Charlie? Is that a good idea? He's got to think about it. But yeah, me too. So yeah, welcome to the new channel if you're interested in jumping over. And yeah, that's where I'm going to be spending a lot of my time. So I will see y'all later.